What's up YouTube? Skin is one of the most important things when it comes to climbing and performance. So I'm going to teach you what I keep in my skin kit to make sure that my skin is in tip-top shape to have the best climbing sessions possible. I've brought this skin kit all across North America on multiple climbing trips and it has never let me down. And at times where I probably would have had to stop climbing, it let me get that one last burn to get that important send. So let's see what I keep in the kit. I have 8 main items in my skincare kit that I keep in this Maxpedition bag. I have a Canadian flag in the front just because I'm a little patriotic, but it's enough space to keep all of my things and it could even fit a little bit more. For example, sometimes I keep a Leatherman in here just in case to have a knife on me, but if I'm taking a plane, obviously I can't bring a knife, so it's always evolving. But these are the main staples that always stay inside. The first thing that every climber should have is a pair of good nail clippers. Not only is it really useful to cut your nails and cut your tape, but it's also super important for if you ever get a split that you can cut around it so that you can even out the area before you can sand it and then retape it. So you always got to keep these in the kit somewhere. Next up, tape. This is probably just as important. You cannot go climbing without tape. I personally never tape for finger injuries. I think that although it can be a good mental cue, I personally, it gives me a little too much courage to do some crazy stuff when in reality, most finger injuries happen because of overtraining. And if you're taping up so that you can train more when you're already overtrained, it's probably really not a good idea. So I avoid taping for that, but it is extremely important to tape your skin. So if anyone knows that if you've been climbing for a couple hours, your skin might become really raw or you might get a split. So taping splits is the biggest thing that I use it for, but some other items in this kit has made it so that I get a lot of splits less. But I still keep it in here now just in case, or if someone else needs it, it's always nice to have it on hand. Also useful, you could use it to tape your shoes on if your heels are popping out. Other useful things like that. Tape is just always great. I'm sure if there's a serious grave injury, you could also use it to save someone's life. Don't quote me on that though. Next up, Gorilla Glue. Now this isn't found in most people's kit, but I think I would never use tape without Gorilla Glue anymore. It just makes it so much better. Occasionally I will use it on my skin if there's like a grave, something that just needs to be stuck together, but that happens rarely. Like one time my nail split, so then I put some super glue on top of my nail so to keep it together, but that rarely happens. The most common way to use super glue is as you've finished your tape job, you apply a little bit to the tape on top so that it just stays in place so it doesn't unravel. That is the most annoying thing to happen when you just taped up, you're doing a climbing session, you go back on the wall, and then after a couple attempts, your tape is starting to unwind off your finger. Really not a fun time. If you want to see a tutorial on how I use my tape and how I tape my fingers, and it's the best way ever, then you should comment down below so you can see that tutorial. What else do I have? So I have some polysporin, just in case any cuts, bruises, you can put it on. I find it's really helped me not get an infection. I've had some infected things and I've cleaned and just put polysporin on and it's resolved itself. So making sure you're not getting an infection is really important because it sucks. I also have a Sharpie with some duct tape around. Again, just for usefulness. You never know when you'll need duct tape, especially if you're out in the forest, outdoors. It's always useful to have this. And Sharpie, always need something to write something down. It's pretty important. It's just good outdoor etiquette to have something like this. And then a lighter, of course, Bic lighter, also outdoor etiquette. If you're going outside and you never know what could happen. Something crazy could happen. You might be stuck overnight and it could be really cold. We like to go out bouldering in extremely cold temps, so you don't want to be caught outside stuck with a broken leg and you can't start a fire or something. Very important, I think. Now onto the really stuff that might be looking cool. First, we got a normal sander. I was using this for a long time, but it's not the best because of this flat angle. It's really hard to get into the crevice of your finger. So it's not the best, but it gets the job done. if you need something cheap. And it's really good for multiple fingers, sanding this way. I'm not gonna sand my fingers because my skin is actually pretty good right now, so I don't wanna rough it up too much. But the next thing is also a sander, but it's the thing that has changed my life. It almost has completely made my splits go away. I still get splits a little bit, but it has completely minimized that effect by a lot. You can just buy these on Amazon. Usually, sometimes they're on sale for 30 bucks or something. 30, 45 bucks Canadian. I'll put a link down below, but basically it's just a rotary tool and this tip spins and it just carves away the skin. My biggest issue is splits in my middle fingers because it's my longest digit and it has the most pip flexion. And so it has the most likelihood to split. And also when I use tip juice, it makes all of my skin hard and the skin on the sides don't sand down as much when I'm like climbing normally. So using it here on the sides has been a game changer. Now I rarely get splits on the sides. It's been really amazing. So if you're someone with sweaty skin and you need to use products on your skin to make them hard, having something like this where you can like precisely shave down the places that are getting like too much skin buildup is super, super life-changing, super game-changing. And I bring this everywhere. And last but not least, little rage sticker. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and if you'd like to support me, you can buy a t-shirt linked down below. Hope this really helped you if you're a beginner or intermediate climber looking to level up. I think skin is something that is not talked about enough, and I had a long journey trying to understand my skin, so hopefully this can speedrun that for you. See you in the next video. Bye.